Good morning, my lord. You hold the mighty sword of Excalibur. However, unnatural forces are stirring in Britannia. What would you have us do? The Saxons push us from the east. And we are also at war. They're pushing at us from the north. What would you have us do, your majesty? Excellent. We shall strike forth and defeat them. To battle, men! To battle! Hey everyone! So, video for the new year. Fantastic. Did you all have a good New Year's? Great. Did you have a good Christmas? Awesome. I'd like to review a game that I found last year, but it hasn't taken me until now to complete it. I've just been playing it so much because it's so awesome. The game is called King Arthur, the role-playing war game. Now, don't worry, you already play as Arthur, the fabled king who pulled Excalibur from the stone and ruled Britannia, fighting against the Saxons. And yes, the Saxons are in the game. So basically, it starts off like this. You have just one knight. This one, you start off with 1K, your foster brother. But don't worry, you can certain quests pop up that you can get more knights for your round table. That's pretty good. It's split into 4 books or 4 chapters. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3. Very simple. If you don't know what you're doing, you will get stuck several times like I did. When I first started playing it, I actually had to restart the game several times because I kept messing up royally. I kept messing up. You don't inherit Camelot. You have to win it. You have to pretty much conquer the entire map. Okay, not the entire map, because there's this one part called Benegrain Forest. You do not go in there. Ever. What I like about the game is that it has seasons. You know, like here in the UK we have summer, we have spring, autumn, winter, so on. It's exactly the same in that. You know, the landscape changes according to the season, which is awesome. In winter you can't move, but it's a good chance to improve your army, see what how much gold you're getting in, how much food you're producing, that kind of thing. So money and gold, well, money and food are essential to your army. If you run out of gold, don't worry about it, it's not really a big deal. Food is important, very important. Now, when you conquer an entire province, an entire area, right, you can actually name one of your knights as the Liege or Liege Lord, which is actually pretty awesome. Keep an eye on the province loyalty, because sometimes there are several random quests that just pop up automatically. Some aren't that big of a deal. Others, like for example, if one goes like a revolt in so and so or rebellion, deal with it as soon as possible. Also, anytime a quest pops up, you know you can do it if you want. I mean, and I mean the optional ones, because some are part of the main quests and others are optional. Now, this is defined very easily. You'll notice if you play the game, it's actually pretty easy to identify. That's the word I was thinking about. Identify. So yeah, this game is actually pretty dang awesome, because I've always been interested in the Arthur legend. I know it's probably false, and you know that, and there's no ancient king waiting to come back. I wish that was the case, but unfortunately it's not. It's just my cat. So yeah, you can get Knights of the Round Table, and religion is actually a big part of the game. There are 2 religions, Christianity and something called the Old Faith. I don't know what that is, but it's really cool. You can get different spells, different units, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's pretty cool. Now, for my first playthrough, oh yeah, there's also rightful and tyrannical. So tyrant, benevolent. I always go to be a rightful king. I did Old Faith, my first playthrough. I've just done the Christianity one. I will say, if you're going to go for Christianity, be prepared, because it's going to get a lot harder during the game. It gets really difficult, so much so that you may think it's impossible to win, but it's not. Merlin's in the game, Guinevere, Lancelot, Dagonet, Tristan, Gawain. They're all in the game, and you can choose who to have be around table. For example, there's this one quest where you can help Sir Gawain, or you can help Tristan. Now, you can't help both. You have to choose one. It also depends on what you do during these quests, because most of the quests, in fact all of them, are text-based, and they have pictures as well, and they have a set of options for you to do. I actually thought this was alright actually, because for me it was very fun to read and very good actually. So by the end of the game, I had all my knights, and they don't all have to be male. I had a few female knights as well, so that's not really a big thing for you. Now you're probably thinking, you know, do you get Guinevere from both Old Faith and Christianity? No, you get a completely different queen altogether with Christianity, which is awesome. With Old Faith, you get Guinevere, but that's fine because you can get Merlin as well. And Merlin is badass. In fact, anyone from the Old Faith, any knight who believes in the Old Faith, it's pretty cool because they can use something called a lightning ability, which can save you in battle because it is awesome. When you go into battle, you have to capture these things called victory locations. They're white to start with, but when you conquer it, it turns blue and it's red for the enemy. You don't always have to, but I recommend you at least conquer the ones closest to you, because that can actually affect your morale and the enemies. Morale is also very important. You know, take into account how much morale you have, because if you go into a battle when your morale is really weak, you'll lose. It doesn't matter how strong your army is, you will probably lose. Army strength is also very important. It's a blue line right underneath the army page. You just double click what knight you have right as the leader, and an army section page pops up, and the army strength is down below, and it goes up. It's from 0 to 100%. So keep an eye on that. Units, however, are expensive. The more you research into better, stronger units, you will have to pay for it. You will have to pay gold and food. You can work on this when units level up. I don't know what's the point of that leveling up system. No idea. But it's actually very useful because you can decrease how much upkeep you have on a particular unit, which again is pretty awesome. Your knights can level up as well, increasing their leadership or their fighting ability or their magic ability, and every single ability except for adventuring I found was pretty useless, but every other ability that they have, like leadership, reign, that kind of stuff, that is all vital, because those kind of stuff can actually determine whether you can complete a quest or not. So keep that into account. If you want to make them a lord, make sure you increase reign as much as possible, you know, R-E-I-G-H. Make sure you do that as much as you can, as much as you want really, because that actually does help, because it increases the income in every province you have. Right, now you can have two choices, right? You eventually have to choose between the Old Faith and Christianity. I will say the Old Faith is more fun and easier. However, if you want to try both like I did, feel free to. They are both very interesting pathways to take. It's fantastic. However, if you want Merlin in your team, I suggest you go for the Old Faith, because he is actually pretty awesome, and he's iconic, isn't he? Him and Arthur are always matched, if you think about it. But yeah, this game was from 2009, which is amazing because all the other games from previously, before 2009 and some even after that, are total shit. This one isn't. It is amazing. I mean, I watched BBC show Merlin, I watched Camelot, and you know, I've played some online games of Arthur which are okay, but this one I never get tired of. I don't care how many times I have to redo pretty much anything. It's still absolutely fantastic. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Now there are these fairies, or whatever they're called the Sidhe. And it's not spelled how you think. It's split into basically two groups, the Seelie and the Unseelie. So if you choose Old Faith, you can choose which one of these to make an alliance with, which is actually very beneficial. because they can just kick ass and slaughter everyone. It's awesome. Christianity, you'll have to wipe them out. There's no alliance. You'll have to wipe them out. It takes a long time. It's pretty difficult. They don't fight back. Like in the very last mission, you take a Christianity. They don't fight back. You have to fight them, but it's really hard wiping them out. But I eventually did. Yeah, despite the fact the graphics are not great, but this is from 2009, so you know it doesn't matter because to me, because the plot and the gameplay and the battles are just so engaging. You know, you actually legitimately concentrate when you're in a battle. You're thinking, okay, you go there, you attack him, you go get the victory location. You know, you're just so concentrated on all of it, and you actually pay attention to detail, not just in the battle, but the entire game itself. If I had to rate this game, I would definitely give it the top rating of 10 out of 10. It is an amazing game. If you're a fan of King Arthur, or even if you're just interested slightly in the Arthur Legends, or even if you just like RPGs and strategy games, get this, because it takes RPGs and strategy and just mixes them together, like all in a pot. It is a fantastic game, and I suggest you get it. I definitely recommend this. Absolutely. So yeah, this is a game I'd actually never played before. I don't have it on Xbox because it's only for PC. I'm not really that good with PC games, but this one I've been actually pretty good at. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You know, you can upgrade. You can build things in your city. You can capture other strongholds. You can fight in wars with other kings and stuff like that. You can make an alliance with the Saxons or the Welsh. I've made an alliance with both. I definitely say the Welsh are better. Depending on who you will ally with, that depends on where you place Camelot, because there's two places where you can conquer that you can have Camelot. So think carefully about who you're going to side with, then build Camelot next to your enemy, because that is possible. Right, well, I mean, if the enemy conquers Camelot, you're not dead, but I'm just saying. So, 10 out of 10, fantastic game. I think I'm going to go play it again. So, get out of here, go buy the game. It's only £8, when in 2009 it was like 30, 40. I got it for £8, and some people I've heard of getting it for £6, £4. For an amazing game like this, it is well worth the price. Now, I'm going to side with the old faith and take down the Saxons, as in the legend. Arthur fighting the Saxons. Wish me luck. Yeah.